Hi, this is Isabel Florence, and you are listening to You Are Light podcast, a safe space where we talk about mental health and well-being. Hello, my lovely. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about personal identity. I want to explore with you, what is it that makes us us? If there is a being that is the same being from birth to death, and if so, how do you define that? That correlation between the person that you were when you were born and the person that you will be when you die. I'm going to also talk about the identities that we attach ourselves to and how transformation requires us to release some of these identities, to kill parts of ourselves, to be able to invite new characteristics. Have you ever asked yourself what makes you you? Do you think there is a single you from birth to death? And most importantly, what tells you you are that same person? Is it every cell in your body, the physical being of you? Is it your mind? So your thoughts, your beliefs, your characteristics? Is it something spiritual like your soul? So if you think that your body is the thing that makes you you, I can challenge you with the fact that your whole body is regenerated as you live your life. So the outer layer of your skin, for example, the epidermis, is continuously renewing itself. Cells in your skin are constantly dying. And this process of renewal of the skin takes about 28 days. So in 28 days, you have basically a new skin. Your red blood cells have a lifespan of approximately 120 days. So your body is going through a continuous regeneration and renewal through your life. So you cannot identify yourself through your physical being. Is it possibly your consciousness? Some philosophers have talked about your memory and how that can be related to what you see as yourself. But you don't remember when you were born, and that was still you. There are moments in your life that you forget. It doesn't mean that you is different to the you right now, or does it? Who's even to say that your memories are accurate? Because we all have a version of a factual reality. David Hume says that the context of the self is just an illusion. Do you agree? We have built our lives in the belief that we individually continue to be ourselves from birth to death. So how can we even question that? How can you question that when there is personal responsibility in the mix? Can you hold someone accountable knowing that the person that they were a year ago is a different person to who they are right now? And how can you be responsible for something that you did if you are constantly changing? I don't put myself in one bracket or the other. I'm not saying I believe in this wholeheartedly. I am more interested in the questions than I am in the answers. I want to explore this topic with you. And then there is a spiritual soul that we talk about, or even physically an energy within us. We are made of more empty space than we are of matter. Is the thing that is in that empty space what constitutes yourself? Is it an energy? And how connected is it to others? How much is it that you are actually an individual? If we are defined by what is in the empty space within us, whatever is in there, the energy, is interchangeable. So I am not just an individual self, but I am part of everything around me, the nature around me, the people around me, my community, the culture that I am influenced by, the material possessions that I have around me, the food that I consume, especially. It's a really interesting topic. Now, let's talk a little bit about attaching to specific identities in our lives. Why do we attach to identities? To find meaning and purpose. It makes us feel significant, whether that's as a mother, as a prominent part of a religious group, as a professional, as an activist. It makes us feel like there is meaning in our lives. Another reason why we cling on to identities is for our self-esteem and validation. We are very affected by the perception that other people have of us. So our self-esteem and self-worth can be extremely influenced by the identities that we attach ourselves to. And then there's also a sense of belonging that we gain from placing ourselves into identity boxes. We want to feel like we belong. We want to feel understood and seen. Identifying with a group or a community gives us that sense of connection, that sense of belonging. Again, it's validation. It's the awareness of how we are perceived. But I want to suggest how courageous it might be to live unattached from our identities, to understand that they are there, they are part of how we dress ourselves to be seen in a society, the masks that we wear, but that by not being attached to those masks, by not trying to control our future, by not trying to control how we see ourselves in comparison to other people, how we are seen by other people, we can truly live in the present moment authentically as a transforming being. And I think a lot of the attachment that we have towards our identities is subconscious. It is something we do not admit to ourselves. So take some time to explore how you see yourself, how you want to be seen, what you call yourself, and how that is connected to a wish to be validated, a wish to be seen, to be recognized, to be revered, to be victimized. I believe we will never fully understand ourselves, let alone other people, from a conscious and subconscious level. So to try and hold on to the labels that we give ourselves and others can seem nonsensical, can seem absurd when we understand the reality of the universe, that it is all changeable, that parts of you will continuously die, from parts of your skin to parts of your memory, to beliefs that you have, to characteristics. We are not static beings. We are regenerating beings. So not to hold on to specific parts of yourself can be healthy, and not to hold on to specific parts of others can also be healthy. Not to see human beings as a static construction of characteristics. To go into interactions without expectations, which is not easy, especially with the people that you are closest to in your life. How can you release some of your identities and release the identities you have placed onto the people that you love? Arrive into interactions with curiosity for the transformation that has maybe occurred in the time where you weren't with this person. Next week, we're going to talk more about releasing identities, as well as accepting and mourning the death of identities in our lives, our own and of others around us. Another way of releasing misinterpreted control, something we believe we had, but that we never actually did. I will probably leave this episode with more questions than when I arrived. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next week. I love you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening. All the links are written down on the show notes, as well as resources for anyone struggling with their mental health. Don't forget to subscribe so you're notified when we release new episodes. Also, feel free to share our podcast with your friends and family. And if you'd like to get involved, explore our content, or support our work, visit our website www.yourlight.earth. That's yourlight.earth. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at u.r.light. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.